Well, the new look guys. What do you? They come off Tampa, and you always the last several weeks you come away from a Bills game feeling unsatisfied.
Oh well, no. You got to win. So I mean, you are satisfied a bit about that. And it's interesting. I was listening to your podcast. Let's go Duffalo.
It's a great podcast.
We're talking about. I will say that I listen every week, and I'm a subscriber.
From the only guy in town without a podcast.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Although I said that last year. But at any rate, I think it's interesting the fact that the Bills are playing these very close games and dominating them. It's not so much that the Bills are winning these games. They're winning these games from basically kickoff to the end, and in some way, somehow find themselves with one play away from losing those games. That being said, they are where they are, and I like their schedule, except for the Bengals this week. Going forward, they've got a pretty favorable schedule to win the AFC East.
I thought this was the hammer part.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, you got Philly, you got Kansas City, you got Cincinnati.
Yeah, but anybody believing is Kansas City really Kansas City? Is Philly really Philly? I mean,
but the question
are the
is,
Cowboys up and down?
The question is Buffalo really Buffalo? I mean, we're going to find out a lot over the next 6 weeks. But I do recall a very handsome, smart, bearded man.
The only bearded man.
I don't have a beard.
That said last week, as long as you don't limit your own possessions, you win these games. And look, the Bills were kind of forced, based on what happened with Dawson Knox, to get out of the double tight end and just play the ball they had played before. As soon as Josh took off on a design run in that first drive, Tampa Bay had to be cognizant of it, right? They had to be aware that he could do this at any time. And when you do that, and when you spread them open, you cannot stop these offensive weapons. Khalil Shakir was, I think, like a yard short of 100 yards. Dalton Kincaid,
who I mentioned last week.
Yeah, great game for him, first NFL touchdown. Stephon Diggs was third in receiving with 70 yards. Gabe Davis had the most receptions in his
all
career.
Of that, doesn't it bother you? They can't put these teams away.
Well, see, here's the thing. I do not disagree with anything McDermott did. The defense was dominant. You were running out of horses here, but he went conservative knowing that the defense was going to stop it. And I'll say this, and I said this on the brilliant podcast, Let's Go Duffalo, which you can get on the Odyssey app.
We've got 2 mentions.
It's pretty good.
Any other team would be thrilled holding their opponent to a 55-yard Hail Mary to end the game. That's your game. How often does that convert? Bills fans get so upset about this stuff because we have had so many House of Horror endings throughout the franchise's history that we immediately see that ball falling in the opponent's hands.
And they didn't cover.
Exactly.
Why can't you just take these as blessing? For the most part, I can't cover the covering thing, but for the most part, you've had these House of Horrors. Don't you think you're due some of these wins like you did against the Giants and Tampa Bay?
We were due 30 years ago.
Oh my God! So here we go again.
No, in the present now, we got the Bills have 2 new players. Impactful.
I love Douglas. I think it's a great move for them. They definitely need to replace Tre'Davious White, which is going to be hard to do, but still you need that extra offensive power or defensive power, down the line. Fournette, nice of the practice squad. I like to see him in a game. He can take some rushes away. You're getting running backs at the half of the season, which is better for the Bills going forward. So Fournette is pretty good if he makes the squad.
I think Fournette just replaces Harris. I don't know that he's really impactful. The other guy, I had to look him up. I'd never seen that name before.
So the only reason I know that name is because he picked off Josh when they played the Packers at home last season. Russell Douglas. But if the kid can play zone, which it looks like he can. He's 6'2", he's 210. He's exactly what they look for, long arms in their defensive backs. He makes splash plays. He turns the ball over. That system is so good. You can put guys you've never heard of in it, and they can excel. If this guy is a 9-year NFL vet who got a 3-year contract from the Packers last season, it's golden, baby.
If he can hold the line, that defense, especially with that front four, can cause havoc. It can be a real problem for defense.
3rd-round pick, I still, back from the old days, have a difficult time viewing a 3rd-round pick as being really significant. It's kind of changed a little bit.
100%, but I mean, these players have gotten so expensive, right? Like the players you're taking in the first 2 years, 3-4 years later, you start to have to think about paying them $180 to $250 million. Look, you look at the...
Yeah, that's where their impact is, right on the salary cap.
And look, you look at the impact players the Bills have on both offense and defense. There are 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks that are irreplaceable players. Matt Milano being a 5th round pick, they impact all the time.